You're looking at a car that changes everything. This is the 2026 Toyota Prius Nightshade plug-in hybrid. Now, it doesn't just look fast, it is fast. It has more horsepower and is quicker to 60 than the Kia Niro plug-in hybrid. So let's take a look at what else this icon has to offer. The recent redesign of this Prius is incredible. It's athletic, it's sporty, it looks fast, and it looks futuristic all at the same time. You know, they started using this hammerhead shark look to the front of this, and they carried it into some of their other models because this was the first one to be redesigned. Now, this is the Karashi yellow that was new for last year. Now they have it on the plug-in hybrid this year. And this also has the Nightshade edition on it. Now, Nightshade last year was introduced on the standard hybrids. This is a first for this year, the Nightshade on the plug-in hybrid. So with the Nightshade, you get everything all blacked out. You get this whole blacked out look, including these 19-inch gloss black wheels. Just makes everything look really good, especially sets it off with this Karashi yellow. So you've got black badges, black handles, and the bumper trim is all in black. And it just, man, it just looks so good. I love this redesign. It's one of my favorite cars right now, especially this plug-in hybrid. You get a lot out of it. Now we're gonna go around here. The other thing that I like is I like the way they hid the door handles up in here. There's a lot of cars that are kind of doing that now, but it just gives it a little more sporty look. Now you do see that this really drops down here in the back, and that right there is where you lose some of your headspace and your cargo space from the previous designs that they had a little more storage in there. I'm gonna come around to the back, and even the back I think looks really good. And the back does look Prius, so you can identify that it is Prius. And I like that it has like a little bit of lip here, a little bit of spoiler going on there. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. Look at the space back here. You do have about 20 cubic feet of space. And if you take this out and you drop that second row down, that's gonna get you up to about 26 cubic feet of space. Now there's not anything really back here. There's a little bit of cubby storage there on this side. They've got something already in here. I believe that's probably the regular battery. So up underneath there is just your hybrid battery cords and stuff like that. High voltage stuff that you don't need to be digging around and messing around with. You're gonna have to let me know what you guys think of this design. I think they knocked it out of the park a couple of years ago. I just thought it was amazing. I was like, this thing looks futuristic, like out of an old Stallone movie. Just looked great. So Demolition Man, that's what the name of the movie was. It looks like a car from Demolition Man to me. Anyway, let's go down the inside and let's check out all of the interior. So this has the black interior on the door panel here. This is a little soft touch right here. You got a little bit of soft padding for your elbow, although it's not really padded. It's a decent amount, I guess, but it might bother your elbow if you lean on it quite a bit. All of your window and mirror controls, and you got a spot for your bottle right down there. Over here, we've got power seats with lumbar here on the driver's side. These seats are pretty comfortable. From what I heard, they actually pulled these out of one of the Lexus vehicles. So these are actually Lexus seats is what I heard. But let's get on in and check out the rest of this interior because there's some controversial stuff going on in here. All right, coming across the front here, this is soft right here. It's kind of cushiony. This back here is not, and it's just hard plastic, which is fine. It's way back there. It's not gonna be anywhere that you're gonna be touching. And then I do like how they have ambient lighting going across here. You can see it really good there at the blue stripe going across. And I like this little carbon fiber look going across here. That kind of gives it a little more upscale touch. Underneath here, you've got your glove box, and it's a pretty good size. Up here, you've got the giant infotainment screen. We're going to go on over here because this is where your controversial issues are, is the driver's display. And we've talked about this before in a couple other videos. And for me, I am 6 foot tall, and this is my view. So I can see over the top of the steering wheel without any problem. But some people can't. And even adjusting their seat and adjusting the steering wheel certain ways, sometimes they end up with either trying to duck under and trying to sit and look underneath, or they're just barely can see over the top. So that kind of causes some problems with some people. So I think maybe if they pushed it back even a little bit farther, or brought it up and just mounted it right here on the back of the steering wheel, that would have been nice, because then it would just move with the steering wheel. That would be another option there. But for me, I can see it just fine. We'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the steering wheel. And it's just a round steering wheel. Now, see, that's another option they could do. So we've got some of these that are doing the, what are they called? The squircle or something like that, where it's like a flat, kind of got a flat top and a flat bottom, and then rounded on the sides. Now that would actually help, because then you could actually see that very well and very easy. So maybe that's something that Toyota ought to do. So if you guys are listening, maybe you guys go to the squircle, whatever they call that steering wheel, and maybe that'll fix those issues, and you won't have to listen to people complain about not being able to see that anymore. But on this steering wheel, it's got a lot of buttons on here. All your driver assistance features are on this side. So you do have adaptive cruise mode, and then you also have a regular cruise mode, and then you also have lane keep assist and lane centering, and everything loaded up into this model. You get your mode button right there. And then on this side, you've got all of your menu controls. That'll control the menu up there, which we'll go back and look at right now. And then you got your volume there. So up here, you do have some things that you can change, and press the one button and it just slides it over, and then you can flip through some settings. There's all your driver assistance features. You can go on up your tire pressures, music. There's your adaptive cruise mode. And then you can also have your eco setting up there, and you can go left or right with that. It has a few different options there. We'll go over here to the infotainment screen now. And it's the same infotainment system that Toyota uses and everything else. It works really well. I actually like Toyota's system. It does a really, really good job. So when you're in Android Auto, which just has wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you press this button right here. That's going to bring you up and take you to the Toyota system. So you've got Android Auto up here. Here is your navigation. You have your media or your music right there. And then you have your phone settings. And then you can go to the car. And inside the car, you can set up your climate. You got trip information, which also has your history. So previous best, 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour. And then we can also go back and you can see your energy flow in here. So you can see what's going on when it's plugged in or it's sitting and running. Like right now we are running off of the battery. Charging schedule and vehicle alert. We're going to go on down here to the settings. This is where you're going to set up your phone with your Bluetooth devices, your sound and media adjustments, and then you have your vehicle customized, so you can adjust your lights, your door, custom drive modes, your charging, inside your charging, just whatever, how much current you want to actually pull through there. And those are all those functions. But you can see this actually works pretty quickly and jumps back over to Android Auto, and you can also have the split screen with your Pandora or Spotify, whichever one you use. Down below that, you have your vents, and then you have your climate control right here. It's all digital. You do have heated seats up here in the front, and then you just have your normal settings across there. Down below, you have a USB-C for USB connection, and you have USB-C for charging, and then you also have a 12-volt plug right there. You do have a storage container right here, which is actually not your wireless phone charger. It's just a storage thing, but you can also push this, take this out, and you have another cubby hole down below there, so you can put some stuff in there, put this down, and most likely people aren't going to know or notice that that actually opens up, and you might have something under there. Coming on back, you do have 2 cup holders right here, and they are nice and tight cup holders. I haven't had anything tip over or fall out or anything. They work really well. We come back, and here is another controversial issue, which is the shifter here. So this one, to use it, you have to push over and forward for reverse. Then you can pull back once to go into neutral. Then you have to push over and down to go into drive. And then if you want the B mode, you can pull back into that. Now, B mode is going to be your maximum regenerative braking. It's kind of like it'll automatically start braking whenever you let off the accelerator, almost like one pedal drive. The problem with it, though, is you cannot use it with cruise control for some reason. I don't understand, because in electric cars you can still use cruise control and use the regenerative braking, but for whatever reason Toyota said nope, if you're going to use B mode you don't get to use cruise control. Maybe we'll figure that out some other time. All right, back here you do have your drive modes, and in your drive modes you have custom, sport, normal, and eco. You have this auto, EV, and HV, so this will actually just kind of run your hybrid or electric or hybrid whenever it needs to. It's going to just kind of do it on its own, which is really what you want to do because it knows better than what we do. And then you also have the HV, EV only there. And then you've got hold, and you've got traction control and your electronic parking brake right there. Then back behind there, we have the center armrest, and it has some padding. It makes it look like there's padding, but it's not really padded that well. And then you have inside the compartment, it's a decent size. It's not bad. It's a little over wrist depth. And then you have 2 more USB-C plugs in there to charge with. This window is equipped with the full glass roof, which was not a cheap option. I think it's like around $1,200 to add this roof on. But you do have sunshades that you can close front and rear, which is kind of cool that they are separated. Here you have your auto dimming and brights, and then you have a heated windshield, and you have the heated steering wheel. All right, that's all of everything that's here in the front. Now I'm gonna reposition the car so we can see how much space there is in the back. I am 6 foot tall, and if I can fit back there, then most everyone else can fit back there. So let's go check that out. Door doesn't open extremely wide, but wide enough to get in and out. It might be a little struggle with some car seats or something like that. Get in. Driver's seat is in my driving position, and I still have about 1 inch or 1.5 inches in front of my knees, so that's fine. I am sitting pretty straight up. If I relaxed, I would probably be a little bit closer, maybe touching the back of the seat. Above my head, though, I am looking at maybe 1/2 inch total up above my head, so the headspace is okay, as I'm not going to be irritated by it. But just if you're a little bit taller than 6 foot, you might have a little bit more issue inside here. All right, everything else feels pretty comfortable. So let's hop on the inside and I'll show you what else is back here. It's not much though. So here is your door. This is just hard plastic there. You got a little cushioning right here for your arm, but everything's pretty much hard plastic back here and hard plastic all through here. You do have a couple USB-C plugs down here, and you do have a 120 volt plug, although it's not a grounded plug. It is just a 2-prong plug in here. And that's pretty much it. You do have a center armrest that has a couple cup holders. But that's it. The seats are generally pretty comfortable though. Under the hood is Toyota's 5th generation hybrid system. It's a 2-liter engine paired with 2 powerful electric motors. The combo gives you 220 horsepower. The electric motors also deliver instant power through their eCVT, and this will go 0 to 60 in just 6.1 seconds. 0 to 60. 60. Okay, maybe it's really not that fast. The Kia Niro plug-in hybrid comes with just 180 horsepower and a 0 to 60 in 7.3 seconds. So the Prius has 40 more horsepower and is over a second faster to 60, and it looks better. Now you also get up to 40 miles of electric driving range on a full charge, and the EPA rates it at 114 miles per gallon equivalent and gets about 48 miles per gallon on just the gas engine. Something we want you to also understand is that these big, cool 19-inch gloss black wheels that are part of this Nightshade edition, they are heavier and slightly reduce the electric range by about 4 miles, which isn't a huge amount, but it's a little bit. But if you want this awesome styling, you know, that's something that you do have to accept as a trade-off. This is an excellent choice. If you're considering an EV, but aren't real sure yet, so you have 40 miles of electric range when you charge this up, and you have your gas engine as a backup, which is a great feeling to have. And with that combination, you can drive up to 500 miles, probably even over 500 miles on one tank of gas. So if you have a short commute and you can use that electric range by plugging in every single night, you won't have to stop at a gas station very often. The best thing about the plug-in hybrid is the hybrid battery sits low in the chassis, which gives you a low center of gravity so that cornering is a lot easier and it feels a little sportier than it really is. And driving on the highway, it is a perfect blend between comfort and a sporty ride. The one downfall to the plug-in hybrid is that it does provide the most power out of all of the trims, but it is only front-wheel drive. So if you want all-wheel drive, you'll have to go look at the standard hybrid trims. Now let's run through some prices on the 2026 Toyota Prius. The standard Prius starts at $28,550. The plug-in hybrid starts at $33,775. The Nightshade plug-in hybrid starts at $37,795. And as tested with the options and the destination fee, this one right here in front of you comes in at $41,304. Now for the OSR Vehicle Rating. We rate each vehicle according to these 10 categories, and we've given the 2026 Toyota Prius Nightshade plug-in hybrid an overall score of 84. This score reflects exceptional safety performance, robust reliability, and great improved driving dynamics, tempered only slightly by the loss of maximum efficiency compared to the entry-level trim, and a notable ergonomic flaw concerning the driver's display. You get great style and top safety with this Prius. Toyota builds the Prius to last a long time, so you save money on repairs. This Nightshade plug-in hybrid version drives up to 40 miles using only electricity, but you pay a bit more for the blacked out look. You also need to look past the small back seats, but you'll love the smooth, quiet ride. Now for the OSR Best Value Trim Choice, and we chose the Prius Plug-in Hybrid SE model, which is the base model. It has the lowest starting price at $33,775 and gives you the highest fuel efficiency of 127 miles per gallon equivalent and 52 miles per gallon in gas-only driving. The SE trim also comes with the smaller 17-inch wheels, which helps it travel farther on electricity alone than the more expensive trims that use the 19-inch wheels. Choosing the SE means you are paying the least amount of money for the car while getting the biggest savings at the gas pump. This is the car for you if you want aggressive styling, lightning fast acceleration, well, I mean for a hybrid, and best in class miles per gallon. Now it's your turn to tell us what you think. Considering the aggressive style, the 6.1 seconds to 60, would you give up 4 miles of electric range to have these awesome 19-inch gloss black Nightshade wheels and this beautiful Karashi finish? Let us know down in the comments, and you have a blessed day.